O'tgan safar kvadrat tenglamalarni qavuslarga ajratish, ko'paytiruvchi ajratishni o'tdik. To'g'rimi?
To'g'ri.
Endi hozir o'shani shug'ullangan bo'lsang, ancha mashq qilgan bo'lsang, I assume that you know how to factorize quadratic equation. So today we'll talk about solving quadratic equation by factorization. You say factorization. The general methods, we will learn this in chapter 6 using the formula. Okay. So you know what we mean by quadratic equation. So this is our quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So that is in standard form. When we say actually the standard form, you should write in this form. First x squared, then x, then here we have constant. This a is a coefficient of x squared, and this is the first term, b is a coefficient of x, and c. And now here we have equal sign, equals 0. And a is not equal to 0. That's why we are saying that this is an equation. Okay. If I just delete this part, equal and 0, that means it is quadratic expression. Okay, we have quadratic expression. This one is quadratic equation. Then we'll talk about quadratic function later. Okay. So now we are going to solve this. In the previous class, what we learned is we now know how to factorize this equation, right? Assume that if you are given this quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay, here we have x squared plus bx plus c. So assume that I can factorize this and write it in this form. That is mx plus p, and here we have nx plus q. This part we learned in the last class, right? So that is equal to 0. Okay. If we can factorize this, now how can we solve this? In algebra, if the product of two things, anything, p times q is equal to 0, then either p should be equal to 0 or q should be equal to 0, right? So using these facts, here we have something times something, right? And here that's equal to 0. So that means that to be equal,
it means one of the brackets must be 0, right?
So mx plus p equals 0, or nx plus q is equal to 0. That means that at least this equals 0, or this, or both are equal to 0. So we now have to solve this equation. From here, what is x? X equals minus p over m. Or here, if you solve this, x equals, take q to the right-hand side and divide by n. That's equal to q over m. So what are these? These are the roots of this quadratic equation. Okay, that means that if I substitute this number for x in this equation, right here, and evaluate this, it will be equal to 0. That's why we call this a solution. Or if you substitute this thing for x and put here for x and evaluate this, and you get 0. Okay. Example. Let's see a few examples. These are very simple examples. Here we have x times x minus 3. It's already factorized, right? X times x minus 3 is equal to 0. Solve this equation using the fact either x should be equal to 0 or x minus 3 should be equal to 0. Now, if you solve this separately, it's already here. How about x? What number minus 3 equals 0?
3.
That is 3. So these are the rules, dots, dot, dots. The answer solutions are 0 and 3. Okay, or you can just write here x sub 1 equals 0, x sub 2 equals 3. How about question B?
Bizda ikkita javob bo'lishi mumkinmi?
Ikkita javobda kvadrat tenglamani odatda ikkita javobi bo'ladi-da. Bu birinchi ildizi, mana bu ikkinchi ildizi. Ana 0 qo'ysang, misol uchun 0, mana 0 qo'ysang nima bo'ladi? 0 minus 3 minus 3. 0 ko'paytirilgan minus 3 nimaga teng? 0 ga teng. 0 ga tengmi? To'g'ri. Demakki bu javob. 3 qo'ysang, 3 ko'paytirilgan 3 minus 3 0. 3 ko'paytirilgan 0, bu ham 0. Demak, bu ham javob ekan. Lekin bundan tashqari libboy son olib borib qo'yadigan bo'lsang, bu chap tomon 0 ga teng bo'lmaydi. Demakki, u narsa yechim emas. Shunday sonlar qidiryapmizki, bu yerda olib borib qo'yganingda tenglamagan. Chap tomon bilan o'ng tomon teng bo'lishi kerak, bir xil narsa bo'lishi kerak. Ana o'shanda biz bularni yechim, ya'ni ildiz deymiz. Keyingi misolda, misol uchun B. Here we have x plus 2 times x minus 3 is equal to 0. It's also already factorized, right? So something here, A times B is equal to 0. So either this x plus 2 should be equal to 0 or x minus 3 should be equal to 0. Now if you solve them, what number plus 2 equals 0? So that is negative
Minus 2.
X sub 1 equals negative 2. And second one is
X sub 2 must be plus 3.
3. So 2 roots, right? That means that either if you substitute this number into the equation, left-hand side should be equal to right-hand side. Or if you substitute this 3 into this equation, evaluate this. 3 minus 3, 0. So actually this part doesn't matter for us because 0 times anything equals 0. Okay? So these are very easy questions. It's just warm up. How about this one? 3a times 2a plus 3 is equal to 0, right? Here, just you should be able to see that what is multiplied by what. Here we have something times something, right? So that means for the product of these two things to be equal to 0, so this 3a should be equal to 0, or 2a plus 3
should be equal to 0.
Now from here, 3 times what number equals 0? 0. And here,
okay,
you know how to solve this. Take to the right hand side, negative 3, and divide by 2. So negative 3 over 2. So these are the roots of the given equation. So it has 2 roots, which are, what are those roots? 0 and negative 3 over 2. Okay?
Okay.
D. How about D? It's also factorized for you. Actually, as you see here, the challenging part solving this kind of quadratic equation is, can you bring the quadratic equation into this form? That means, can you factorize it? Because when you're solving by factorization, first you have to factorize it, then we can solve this. So solving this part is easy, but factorizing a quadratic equation is a bit more challenging. Anyway, here we have 2x minus 3 times, we don't have to write times actually, because we know that in algebra, that means these two things are multiplied by each other. Here we have 0. So here again, as you see, something is multiplied by something, right? So for the product to be 0, each multiplication should be equal to 0. So here we have 2x minus 3 should be equal to 0, or 4x minus 5 should be equal to 0. I don't know how to solve this. So x sub 1, that's the first root, equals 3
minus 3 over 2.
How about the second root?
4, but okay.
5 over 4, because take to the right hand side, right? This 5 divided by 4, 5 over 4. If you substitute here, this thing is equal to 0. 0 times anything equals 0. Or this thing, if you substitute here we get 0. 0 times anything equals 0. So these two numbers are the roots of this quadratic equation. Okay?
Okay.
Now let's solve a bit different questions. Now it's not factorize. So first, in the first step, you have to factorize. Then we can solve it. Question A, here we have 12x squared minus 4x is equal to 0. So actually solve the following equations, but you are asked here to solve these equations by factorization, okay? Because we didn't learn the formula yet. So here, first we have to factorize. In chapter 2, I mean the first part, chapter 2.1, we learn how to factorize quadratic expressions, right? The previous lesson, I think. So what is a common factor here? Here we have 12, 4. Highest common
4.
factor of these two numbers is 4
4.
squared and x. So x. 4x is a common factor. If I take 4 from 12,
Okay.
what is that here?
3x
minus
and 1.
1
Only 1.
equals 0. So we have factorized this. That means 4x should be equal to 0, or
3x minus 1 should be equal to 0.
Okay. So from here, dot
X
dot
must
dot,
be
x sub
x
1
equal 0
equals 0, and
and
x sub 2, what is it?
3 over 1. No, always 3. 1 over 3. Why?
Here we have 3x minus 1. 3x minus 1 equals 0. 3x, take to the right hand side, it is 1. Divide both sides by 3, it is 1 over 3.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, I have it.
Good. B. Here we have 9x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. How can we solve this? By factorization. If you remember, I'm going to use this thing, a squared minus b squared. What is a squared minus b squared? That's equal to a minus b, a plus b, right? So here we have 3x squared
and
minus 2 squared equals 0.
finished.
So if you factorize this, what do we get here? 3x minus 2 and 3x
Times
plus 2
minus 2 plus 2
equals 0, right? So that means that each should be equal to 0. So 3x minus 2 equals 0, or 3x minus 2 equals 0. So Aziz, you should know how to solve these equations. Maybe you might know this, but step by step, okay? Step by step. First, factorize it, write it down, and after that, continue. And so here we have, if you solve this, what is x? What is x here? That's the first root.
Minus 2 over 3.
2 over 3. It must be a piece of cake for you. Just take 2 to the right hand side, divide by 3. It is 2 over 3. How about here?
Okay. 2 over 3.
Oh, here it is plus. So it should be plus. It's deleted, I don't know, to some reason. So it is, if you take to the right hand side, it is
minus 2 over 3.
Negative 2 over 3. Okay?
Okay.
All right, these are easy questions. How about here? X squared minus 3x minus 28 is equal to 0. So it's quadratic equation. If I just close this part, it is expression. And we studied how to factorize this, right? Because here, the coefficient of x squared is 1. So can you just tell me two numbers whose product is negative 28 and their sum is negative 3? So actually 28, I can write it as 28 times 1, 2 times 14, or 7 times 4. 7 times 4 works, I think. So it is negative 7 times 4. Negative 7 times 4, negative 28. Here we have negative 7 plus 4, negative 3. So now I can factorize it. So here we have x minus 7 and the x plus 4, that's equal to 0. So now, without using this step, I can write, right? Because you should be able to see here. When this thing is equal to 0, when x equals 7, right? Because 7 minus 7 equals 0. And the second root, when this is equal to 0, when x equals negative 4. Because negative 4 plus 4 equals 0. And 7 minus 7 equals 0. So this equation has two roots. These are 7 and negative 4.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, question D. I think I need more space. Maybe you can solve it here. All right, this is question 21 and the D. How about D? Here we have 2x squared minus 7x plus 6 is equal to 0. Dr. Leo, are you still here?
Yes, still here. I'm leaving.
Yeah, I know I'm disturbing you, but...
No, you're not disturbing me at all.
Okay, thank you. So 2x squared minus 7x plus 6 equals 0. But here, the coefficient of x squared is not equal to 1. So you should be careful. So how did you learn this? Did we do any example like this? I think so, right?
Yeah.
Can we just find two numbers here? Actually, when it is prime number, it is quite easy. The only way to write it as a product of two terms is it is 2x and x. But here this 6, the 6 minus 7, right? So I think that both numbers should be negative, so that negative number plus negative number gives us negative number. Try any number. How about, for example, -3, -2? 2x times x, 2x squared, -3 times -2. It is 6, right? When we cross multiply, here we have -3x. So -3x, right? And here 2x times -2, -4x, right? And the year sum is -3x plus -4x. What is the year sum? -7x. Is it equal to the middle term? Yes, right? And this is how we factorize quadratic expression when the coefficient of x squared is not equal to 1. So that means that now I can factorize it as 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3 times x minus 2, which is equal to 0. Now to make sure that it's correct, you can check immediately. 2x times x, 2x squared, 2x times -2, -4x, -3 times x, -3x. The year sum is -7. And -3 times -2, that's equal to 6, right? So now we have factorized. This thing you have to practice actually. I assume that you know how to factorize this. Now here we have 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, or x minus 2 is equal to 0. If you solve this, what is x? Take 3 to the right hand side, it becomes plus 3 over 2. So 3 over 2. Or x equals 2, right? Because if you substitute these numbers into this equation now, is equal to 0. Or if you substitute this number into this equation, is equal to 0. Okay, what we are doing here is we have infinitely many numbers, right? Among these numbers, only these two numbers, when you substitute here, the result of this expression will be equal to 0. That is what we are trying to do here, okay? But to find this, we have to follow all these rules that we have studied earlier. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Can you read it?
Just isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success. Greatness will come. Dwayne Johnson.
All right, saying that success is not always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success. Greatness will come. Nimani tushunding bu yerda?
No. Ничего не понял.
Hech narsa tushunmadingmi? Ana boshdan success degan nima degani?
Just I don't know.
Success degani muvaffaqiyat degani. O'zbekchalar. Muvaffaqiyat nima degan bilasanmi? Yaxshi, bilsang yaxshi unda. Success is not always about greatness, deyapti. Ya'ni biror muvaffaqiyatga erishish, biroz katta odam bo'lish yoki hamma tanigan odam bo'lish emas, deyapti. It is about great consistency. It's about consistency degani bir narsani sekin-sekin davomli shaklda qilib borish degan, to'xtatmasdan. But consistent hard work leads to success. Agar sen oz qilib borsang to'xtatmasdan, bu narsa seni
Og'ir
muvaffaqiyatga
ishda.
olib boradi. Va muvaffaqiyat erishgandan keyin greatness will come. Undan keyin hamma odam seni maqtaveradi, ya'ni katta odam bo'lib ketaverasan. Ya'ni bu juda ham muhim narsa, consistency. Ya'ni bitta narsaniki suv ham tomib turadigan bo'lsa toshdan teshib yuboradi-yu. Bitta narsaligi jo'shib ketib turib somonga o'xshab yonib turib kul bo'lib qolish emas. Sekin bitta misol, ikkita misol, uchta misol yetib borsang, o'zingni o'zi ko'rasan, misol 3 oydan keyin umuman boshqacha bo'lib qolasan. 6 oydan keyin umuman boshqacha bo'lib qolasan. 9 oydan keyin umuman boshqacha bo'lib qolasan. 1 yildan keyin umuman boshqacha bo'lib qolasan. Shunaqa qilib o'zingni yetishtirib boraverasan. Bu shu haqida gapiryapti. Mayli Muhammad Aziz, hozir men yopaman, senga boshqa link yuboraman, boshqatdan davom ettiramiz. Hop.
Hop.